See, I am Sibi. So today we can discuss about the distance vector routing. So this distance vector routing is one among the routing protocols in the network. So in the distance vector routing, always they will be giving an undirected path. So now I am taking a 5 things. So A, B, C, D and E. Okay, to determine the shortest path, I am going to use a sharing table, infinity table and updating table. Okay, so I already mentioned in the earlier, I have to create a table individually for A, B, C, D and E. Okay, first I am starting with A's table. So how I am creating a A's table means, now look here. So always A to A will be 0 and A to B in undirected graph it will be of 5. So I return as 5 here. Okay, and A to C is 2. So I return as 2 and A to D is 3. So I return as 3 and A to E. So A to E, see here there is no directed path. So I have to check there is two pathways to reach the destination. So first is A to B is 5 and B to E is 3. So I can write as A to B equal to 5 and B to E equal to 3. So totally 8. So and another possibility is A to C equal to 2 and C to E equal to 4. So totally 6. So in the distance vector routing, always you have to take a shortest path. So we can take this path A to E, that is 6 I wrote here. Okay, now we can move into the B's table in the similar way. So as I always start, B tends to B will be always 0. Okay, and next check B to A. So B to A is 5. I wrote as 5. Okay, and B to C is 4. Okay, now check B to C is 4. So I mentioned as B to 4 and B to D. Again I have to take there are two pathways are there. So I have to take B to A equal to 5 and A to D equal to 3. So totally 8. And I can take another pathway also, B to C equal to 4 and C to A equal to 2 and A to D equal to 3. So totally 9. So which is the shortest path? B to A to D. So I am writing that as 8 and B to E. B to E is 3. Now move into the third one. So C stable. So C stable means C to C will be 0 and C to A. C to A, let's check here, that is C to A is 2 and then C to B, where is C? CB. So C to B is 4 and next is C to D. C to D is 2 and 5. Okay, I written as 5 and next is C to E. C to E is 4. Next I am moving into the D stable. So D stable means D to D will be 0. Next D to A. So D to A I am writing that as 3. Okay, and D to B. D to B check. There is no straight path, so I have to check. So D to B 8. Okay, and if you take some other pathway, so 3, 5 and 9. So this is the shortest path. So D to B will be 8. Okay, and next D to C. D to C means there is no straight path, so 3, 5. Okay, and D to E will be so 3, 5 and 9. So that will be the shortest path. Next, if you move into the E table, in a similar way, E to E will be always 0 and next E to A. E to A, it's not a directed path, so I have to check. So 4 to 4 to, this will be the shortest path. So E to A, so 4 to 6. Next E to B. E to B is 3. Okay, and next is E to C. E to C is 4 and next is E to D 4, 6 and 9. Okay, now I completed this part, sharing table. Okay, now I have to move into an infinity table. If I move into an infinity table, A to A will be always 0 And here if you take the B's infinity table, B to B will be 0 and C to C will be 0 and D to D will be 0 and E to E will be 0. Now I have to move into the main part. So a similar way, B to A will be 5 and B to C will be, if you check here, B to C will be 2. How I am writing, sorry, not B to C, A to C. A to C will be 2 and A to D will be 3. And now listen. So what is an infinity table? Means there will be a no straight path. So A to E, there is no straight path. So I am writing that as an infinity. Now in the B's table, so B to A is 5. Okay, B to B is 0, I already mentioned. And B to C will be 4. B to C is 4. And B to D, there is no straight path, so I am mentioning that as infinity. And B to E is 3. Okay, now we can move into the C's infinity table. So C to A, there is a path, so I am writing that as 2. And C to B is 4. C to B is 4. And C to C, as already mentioned in the beginning, 0. And C to D will be, there is no straight path for C to D, so I am writing that as an infinity. And C to E, 4. And next is, I am moving into the D's infinity table. So D tends to A. So check here, D's to A will be 3. And next is D to B. Where is D to B? Look into the graph. D to B, there is no straight path, so infinity. So D to C, there is no straight path, so infinity. So D to D will be always 0. And D to E, there is no straight path, so I am writing that as an infinity. Okay, and next is a E's infinity table. So E to A. So E to A, there is no straight path, so infinity. So E to B. E to B is 3. And E to C next. E to C is 4. E to D is, there is no straight path, so I am writing that as an infinity. So I already mentioned E to E will be 0. Now I completed both this sharing table and infinity table. Now I have to move into the updating table. In updating table, first I have to check in this graph which is the shortest path I have to find. So which is the shortest path? The shortest path will be A to C equal to 2. So this is the shortest path, A to C. So I am writing here as A to C equal to 2. So this is the shortest path. First I have to write the C's infinity table. So I am writing the C's infinity table. So what is the C's infinity table? So I already mentioned C's infinity table 24054. So 240 infinity 4. So I mentioned wrongly here. This is infinity, sorry, 5. So here you can find, so 240 infinity and 4. So this is the C's infinity table. And next is the, I have to write the A's modified table. In that case, what I have to do, what is the path for A to C? The cost of the path is A to C equal to 2. So in this table, in the C's table, I have to add plus 2. So 2 plus 2 will be 4. And 4 plus 2 equal to 6. And 0 plus 2 equal to 2. In infinity, you have to write as it is, and 4 plus 2 equal to 6. So I mentioned here, now I have to write A's infinity table. So what is the A's infinity table? So 0, 5, 2, 3 and infinity. I am writing here. And finally, what I have to do is that I have to compare these two tables. Okay, so A's modified table and A's infinity table. So if you compare, we have to write the shortest path in that. So if you compare 4 and 0, which will be the shortest path? 0. So I am writing 0 here. And then 6 and 5. If you compare 5, 6 and 5, which is the shortest path? 5. and if you compare 2 and 2, 2 will be the shortest path I am writing here. And if I compare infinity and 3, I cannot compare, so straight away I can write 3. And if I compare E and infinity, which is the shortest, so 6. So now you check this table 0, 5, 2, 3 and 6. Okay, so this will be similar to the A's table which I got. So this will be considered as the determined table at the n. So this is the distance vector routing using the routing protocols. This is one of the routing protocol in the network. So thank you.